Well, good morning. Fall is definitely in the air. It is chilly out here this morning. And what I'm going to start doing is working on getting these green tomatoes to, ooh, look at that one. It's loose. We'll have to take it in the house. Get these green tomatoes to ripen. So all of this new growth is not going to produce anything. There's a little tomato there. It'll never make anything. So the idea is to cut clear back to tomatoes that have a chance, and to take all of these side branches like this right here, and you cut those off back right next to the stem, which will allow the sunshine to come in to these tomatoes. So we cut all of this back, and hopefully, as you can see, there's tomatoes back in there. So we want to get as much sunshine to them as we can. So we'll cut this. We've got a little tomato there, it might work. So that's kind of breaks your heart to have to cut all this back, but you've got to do it to get some sunshine and the nutrients to the tomatoes that will produce. The bigger job is going to be these Sweet 100s and the small tomatoes over here. As you take a look, these have really gone crazy, but we've got all this stuff here that will mature. So, I just kind of have to do the best I can. The foliage is a lot finer, so it's a little more difficult to determine what you want to cut out, because these will all ripen and make good tomatoes. Although we probably really don't need a lot of tomatoes at this point. But the grandkids like these.
You're trying to say we have a few in...
Then right here, as you can see, my marigolds got out of control this year, so I'll be cutting those back. Start getting rid of foliage to get ready for fall. This has been kind of a wild attempt to make a structure for our pole beans. We have some ideas, and we're going to do it totally different next year. But even at that, it's worked pretty good, because we have these beans. These are Blue Lake stringless, and they've been delightful. They are just wonderful. So we'll be eating these, and also freezing some more. Probably do some freeze drying of them. And then if you take a look over here, I want to show you something I did over here. This volunteer butterfly bush, I don't know what we're going to do with it. It's in a bad place, but it's gorgeous, and the pollinators love it. But at least we're going to cut it down, at least down to here. And I may try to move it. I haven't decided yet. It'd be a big job, but we may need to do that. Cucumbers, it's about time for the cucumbers to go. We're still getting a few, but for the most part, we've been kind of ignoring them. So what happens is we get guys like this.
Oh my.
And that really is not an edible cucumber. So what we do is we just go over here and throw that puppy in the compost. Okay, the other thing that I've been doing is, this is our natural bed that we're trying to get going. I've talked about it before. So I've been going around and deadheading some of the plants that are more like native plants, similar to our native plants. And I've just been chopping them up and leaving them here. As you can see, there's some echinacea in here and some rudbeckia, all kinds of stuff, and hoping that those little seeds will sprout next year.
It'll also make ground cover.
Yeah. Additionally, this stuff, the calendula, I just let it go to seed, so it looks kind of rough. This is a mullein, which is a native plant, and I looked at that and I thought, that's a weed.
Yeah.
And then I realized, no, that's a native plant. The pollinators like it, and I have seen some of our local honeybees and stuff working on this. So I'm going to let this mullein go, and we'll have mullein in our garden, which I never thought I'd do. This is Al's little patch. This is what he takes care of. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about what he's got going here.
One of the things about the walking onions, in fact, the part of the onion that I think is just phenomenal, is the greens that you get from it. Well, I want you to notice over here next to the lawn, the sprinklers get in here, and the greens are just coming back like crazy. But on the flip side, we've had some rain, and the next crop is coming up now from just the rain that we've had here in the last few days, and we'll have some more here later this week. But anyway, the walking onions are great, and one of the cool things about onions is you plant them once in your life, and you just keep harvesting. And I harvested my first ones this year at the end of March, and in Idaho, that's a real accomplishment. And we'll go up until probably into November before they get frozen off and stop. But they'll come back next year, as you can see. And
they do have bulbs or tubers or whatever you want to call them. But you pretty much just eat the green stuff, right?
I eat the greens because they're so mild and they go in salads so well. And then we get the bulbs out if we want to do some cooking.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at our dahlias. These all need to be deadheaded. I deadheaded these, and this came back beautifully. And some of the salvia and stuff has come back. But what really shines, oh, here's our Jonathan apples. They're getting close to being ready. The one plant that really shines this time of year that I love so much is our dahlias. So here is my purple dahlia. Oh, let's talk a little bit too before we look at the rest of the dahlias. Back here had a clematis that just got all brown and died back, and so I pruned it and thought, I'm going to dig that up. But as you can see, it's sprouting. Apparently there is some kind of a fungus that gets on clematis, and it will kill them clear back, but they're not dead. So if you have something like this with a clematis, don't dig it up. Give it a chance. It might come back. So I'm really excited about that. Doesn't take much to excite me. Oh, I have some little zinnias that I thought were dead, but they've come back. Look at those little zinnias. Aren't they the prettiest little things? And then, of course, our dahlias here. I've got this. This is a very prolific one. It just makes a really big plant. And then here's the little yellow one. As a final thing, we're watching our hazelnuts. And let's take a look at the little tree over here. Soon it's going to be time, they'll start falling off on the ground, and we just pick them up off the ground. But this little tree this year is just covered. Those have got a ways to go. Now these are a different variety. If you take a look at these over here, they're just about ready. Well, I need to get back to my pruning.
And that's it for this episode of Gretchen's Garden and Greenhouse. As you can see, it was just a bunch of maintenance items on the schedule. See you next week now.
Bye.